What's up, One Crack News? Let's do this. Now, many people have relationships and they go through their relationship past, stories, history, what have you. But listen to this story so that you can see if you can relate. Might not apply to you, but might will apply to you. Who knows? Let's go through. Now, a man who's very lonely. He goes to a sports bar, right? Meets up with a couple of guys. Find out that one of the guys used to play on the soccer team in his old high school, and they're having a reunion for the school or whatever. Like back when they won the championship team, and he was on that championship team. So he was like, "Oh, you should come back up there. I'm surprised they haven't contacted you." So he said, "No, I'm gonna get in contact with my old school and see what's going on." So yes, in 2 weeks. So he finds out. Yep, they're having a reunion for that team. So, and for some reason they didn't have his contact information or they couldn't. So this guy goes to the his old high school where they had the championship soccer team, whatever. And they would come in and meet and talk about how they won state champions or whatever. So they go and meet. Got up there, went to the state championship. He saw one of the other guys who graduated and all the people who were there to meet the team. Saw his old teammates, and he saw one of the girls from his high school that was in there. She had married one of the players, and they were just talking about old times. So the whole team from his graduating class that won the championship, now they're hanging out with the players who graduated like after them, and they're back at that bar. And they're talking about the good old days and everything else, and everybody's showing their wives and how they all lost contact, who all you knew. So while they're checking out what was actually happening, the wife of one of the teammates saw this other guy, the guy who was asking all the questions, and she said, "Are you married?" And he says, "No." I'm actually single right now. He's like, "Me and my girlfriend, we broke up after we had a place and we split up. Now I'm back, living at my mom's for right now. Now I'm gonna get out and get my own place." And he's like, "So I'm back at the old house, where I used to stay." And they're like, "Oh, okay, well, that's too bad." And then he's like, "You know what? Her sister is single. Tracy's sister is single. You should go out with us and double date. We're gonna go to the this hockey game, pro hockey game." So right away he agrees. They go to the pro hockey game. You know, there's beers and brats. They go out to the hockey game. They take the girls, and the sister and him, they hit it off right away. Now, it's only been like 2 months since he's been back at home, and he's already out dating. So now he's dating this new girl 2 months after breaking up, and everything is split. He's going out with this girl like every other night. He's going to work, coming home, telling his mom, such and such. And so she's coming by the house, she's meeting the mom, the dad, and they're going out every other night. So they're supposed to go on a skiing trip to Minnesota or something like that. Some in Minnesota, with skiing or I don't know. It's in Minnesota. So they go to Minnesota, and on this trip, he proposes to her. Now, he didn't marry the other girl he was with. They were dating. But this girl, who he's known, for about, I say, a month and a half. He proposes to her. She says yes. It's only been a month and a half. But he knows the girl. He knows his old former high school buddy who hooked her up. And he's ready. He's taking off. Now, I know right away you're listening to this and you're like, oh my God, this is bad. This is red flags all over the place. I can hear everybody listening to this going, oh man, I know where this is going. Trust me, you don't. Mm-mm. So hit the like button. And when I get a Cash App on the Carcino Cash App, I'll continue the story. That's Karceno. And I'll continue the story. Just kidding. Anyway, so she says yes. They come back from this trip from Minnesota. And her dad and her parents are happy but concerned because the dad felt insulted. He never like asked for her hand in marriage and all of this. So her sister's like, "Oh no, it's just such and such," and he was just like, "It was just the spirit of the moment. I felt it, and I just went with it. I'm sorry." He's like, "Oh, you're good," and this and that. I know you actually know your dad, and was like, we used to work at the same job at one time, and you remember the dad. And he's like, I remember your dad. Once he told me your name, he was like, he used to work at such and such painting company. Then he worked for this construction company. We all had the same job. So he's like, I remember your dad. So it brought back a lot of good memories. Now things have changed. Everything has come around full circle. Now it's not about that. Now the mom is about getting the wedding dress, setting up the date for the actual wedding. And then it's where they're going to live. So he's going to move out of his parents' house and move in her place. But she has a small 1 bedroom apartment. So for her, it's different. Now they got this 1 bedroom, and he's like, okay, well, we'll stay here till your lease is up. So he tells his parents he's finna get married, and they're happy. He's getting right back out of the house. He was only there for 2 months. So they're everything's going well. So he puts on Facebook engaged on his page, and then put the picture of him and the new girl. And who shows up in town? The ex-girlfriend. She shows up in the town, comes by his parents' house, and talks to his parents. Him, because she was like, "Oh, hey, I'm back in town. I just came by," and I said, "Well, let me at least speak to you guys because I was here." And they were like, "Are you looking for our son?" And she was like, "No, I just came to see you guys." So she came to speak to him. They sat down, had a discussion, and sure enough, she started telling about why they broke up. She said, "Well, we broke up and decided to split because he's just, pretty weird." And she's like, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, he watches these weird cartoons, and, he just, like, started going into all this internet. Like he's just got this real obsession where he goes online. He starts like ordering these girls to do acts and stuff on the internet. It was like really weird and all of these different things. So the parents, she's like, so I'm concerned about his erratic behaviors, and I heard he's getting engaged. So I just want to let you guys know so you could be alert. Because that poor girl, she must be going through it really bad. So she probably doesn't know yet. And then once they start living together for a while, she's going to start seeing that like weird behavior with him. And he just gets weirder and weirder. So the parents is like, oh my God, like we'll talk to him when he gets home and all this stuff. So dad told him to come over, told him the ex-girlfriend was there, she told us why, you broke up and you're ordering stuff online that's like really weird sexual stuff. And he was, no, oh my God. She's like, no, that was an anime cartoon. It just comes on this channel. It's a cable channel. It's like Adult Swim. I'm not paying for any of this stuff. He said, no. The reason we broke up is because she was stealing. I caught her stealing money. She was stealing money. That is the reason why. And the girl was a klepto, he said. She was stealing my money. I caught her at the bank. She wasn't paying her half of the rent. She was stealing from me. We both live in the same house. She's stealing from me. Going out, doing whatever it is with the money, and she's not paying her end of the rent. And her job was paying her the same amount of money. She just wasn't paying her bills. And what was she spending the money on? I have no idea. So, somebody's lying. So he goes home and tells his new fiance about it. The new fiance learns like, oh my God, this woman is sick. So the new fiance hates her because now this girl is trying to ruin her new life. She's been ready to get married and blah blah blah. So she wants to go see this woman in person. Women just gotta see. And he said, no, don't go see her. That's what she wants. Don't play her game. Don't get involved. I want to see her. So she's like, what is she doing in town anyway? It's like she doesn't live out here. She just drove all the way out here just to cause trouble. Leave her alone. So she's hot. The fiance goes on her Facebook page and starts searching her page. Then leaves her a message on Facebook. Just because you're unhappy with your life and you blew your opportunity, don't go try to ruin other people's happiness. And it was like hashtag team, whatever last name they are, that she's going to be in, and all of these things. So the girl didn't respond for about 2-3 days. Then it's like a big, gigantic 3 paragraphs that she sent. That girl sent about 120 characters. This woman here sent the dictionary saying a whole breakdown of his psychological history of her. She's like, I've been knowing him for X amount of years. You've been knowing him probably for a couple of months. Why do you think he stays up and waits for you to go to sleep? So that he can start doing what he wants to do. He will never go to sleep before you. You will always go to sleep before him, and he will never go to sleep with you at the same time. Trust me, you just don't know him yet. He's weird, and this is why we're not together, and I hope you find out or get him the help he needs. She's given her the phone numbers to people that she could call to verify that he has problems. So she's freaking out. Now, the girl's talking to him. She's like, look at what she sent me. And he's mad that she contacted her. So he wants to go and get a restraining order on the girl now. He's that mad because she's trying to ruin the relationship. And she was like, why would she send me these numbers? He's like, I told you not to contact her. She's weird. This is what she does. So, come to find out, the girl calls the number. She's just like, I want to call these numbers anyway, just to see if they're real numbers. So they call, and the guy is like, I'm Doctor blah, blah, blah. Yes. Yeah, he was my client. I saw him and got the dates and everything. He's like, I could email you the paperwork on his psychological evaluations, and these are the tests we ran on him. And you are his fiance, right? Okay, well, I could send you this information about his mental history. And this doctor is like giving a rundown. So once again, she is doubting now her new fiance. He comes back home from work. She called the number. And he's like, I told you, why do you keep doing things I told you don't do? This is her game. Don't play it. Once again, she gets involved. And once she gets involved, she goes all the way in. Now she's thinking there's more to this guy than I know. Until she gets a phone call from an insurance agency. An insurance agency said, yeah, we just want to check and confirm that you want to send $200 to this doctor. And she was like, no, I don't do that. And he's like, okay, because, you've made quite some withdrawals from your joint savings account. So right away, there was a problem. The girlfriend didn't know. She had her account, all her information was on her Facebook account, was totally ripped. The ex-girlfriend was lying. She created this whole fake story about him to get close to the parents. She stole mail out of their house to get the address correct, first and last names of the people in the house, got everything correct, stole mail from there so she can get information. So that's why she went to visit the parents. She stole their mail so she can get the utility bills, get birth dates, anything she could get from the parents. She was trying to get information so that she can get passwords, everything. It was dangerous. So she got the new girlfriend, the fiance. She got all her information off of Facebook and used all of this to trick the bank that she had to opening up the account to her. And she wouldn't have known if they didn't call to confirm, because she was spending so much money out of her that she had in the trust. She had trust money and she was going into her trust fund. And they were sending money out. Because all she did was said, forget password, forgot it, and went in there and just started cleaning that girl out. And the doctor that she had, that was a fake number that went to another phone and she just had somebody pick it up. And it's obvious that this girl must have been running the scheme for a long time. So when she finds out there's something's going on, she called the cops. They go over there to investigate and arrest the girl. They go to do that. She said that the guy she was with, the one that was on the hockey team, all this stuff, they split up and everything, he was her partner. He was in on it. and they do this together. He was like, I don't do that. She was like, oh yeah, he was feeding me information. That's why he had me come over there. The whole breakup was a scam. He's marrying this girl only to get her money, and the girl believed it. She started to believe, like, this is just too weird right now, and I just think we need space. We need to wait on getting married. I don't trust this situation. This girl was such a manipulator and a liar. She was good at it. She convinced the police, the detectives, when they came to investigate what was going on in the bank and everything, that this guy, so he was investigating. His job is on the line. Everything because of this woman. So please learn from these relationship stories. How does it end? Oh, Jesus Christ. You're going to need the Patreon for that one. The Casino for Life Patreon. You're going to hear the dramatic ending of a very epic story that just seems to happen in a relationship. Nah, I'll tell you now. I ain't going to do that to you. But what happened was they ended up going to court. She tried to throw him under the bus, and they couldn't find any evidence to link to any of her claims, so they couldn't charge him with anything. All the crime was on her and all the things she did. So the girl who wants her space, he's back at home living with the parents while all this gets sorted out. So she ended up paying a fine, and she had to go. She got 2 years of probation for the theft of the bank and everything else, and she ended up getting 2 years of probation. And they confiscated her computer. It had the software, the everything she'd ripped. She had done so much, but they couldn't prove anything else that she had done, and they think that she might have ripped off and stolen from other people. So, and they was like, you got real lucky, y'all split up and left, because this girl's very dangerous. They actually found his parents' mail in her home when they went over there, the cops, when they did the whole investigation. So that's how it all played out. And yes, he did marry that girl, the new girl. They did get back together, get married. They were engaged. The engagement was long. They got engaged for 2.5 years. They eventually got married, and they're still married today. So guess it's a happy ending story, I guess. But yeah, they're still married today. Yep. So that's a relationship story for you. Don't forget to subscribe to the page. Carcino, I'm out.